Design 264 with Avery Pandemic Edition. So, real quick tutorial on how to get the work that you already did into Unity, or to use those skills that you already learned earlier in this Pandemic Edition and to use them to build out your game assets for Unity. So let's talk about the sprites that you made, the animated GIFs, and how you turn those into sprite sheets. So let's say you did it in Photoshop and you still have your Photoshop document as something like this, like my baby animation. Remember the baby? Yeah, right? Okay, so what I don't want is this white background. So what I can do is through each frame, just click on the frame and then toggle the visibility off for each frame. And you see I'll have to do this little juggling act where I click on the frame and then also click on the layer over here and toggle off the visibility. Click, toggle off visibility, 4, toggle off visibility, frame 5, layer 5, toggle off visibility. You get the game. Cool. And then I'm gonna show you techniques where you actually use a GIF to create a sprite sheet. So export, save for web legacy. Important stuff. So 64 by 64 pixels is what we made those at. Great. Leave it at that. 64 by 64. Quality, make sure it's at nearest neighbor instead of any of these that try and interpret the pixels into smooth-ish looking lines. Remember we talked about that. That sort of anti-aliasing effect. So nearest neighbor is our jam. Forever, fine, all that's good. So we'll save it. Just make sure you know where it's saved. I already have one saved. Cool. Let's say you don't have the PSD file and you have a GIF. So this is a GIF that you open up in PSD, or in Photoshop. So for this technique, at least in order to have a transparent background, it seems to me like you're going to need to use Photoshop as your tool. This one is just going through, and if your background is different enough color from your foreground character, you can do the magic wand tool to select it. So W on your keyboard, sometimes W pulls up this quick selection tool. We want the magic wand tool. You want to make sure you're set to anti-alias is checked off. So this is not checked, none of this is checked. So just that probably will be checked by default, but make sure anti-alias is checked off. You can do a point sample. I think that should be fine. That's what I changed mine to. And you click on it, and you see you have your selection. So it's selected all the white, and you can also see that it is selecting right up to those the pixels. We can hit delete, remove that information, and then what you have to do is get rid of that selection area. So Command D is deselect. It's also select, deselect. It's right there. And then you move on to the next one. So hit frame 2, and then look, same juggling act. Click up to layer 2. Now we have that layer selected. Let's do our little selection. Delete, boom, Command D to deselect. I'll do it one more time. So 3, notice the layer did not jump up with it, my selected layer. Go up to 3 with my magic wand tool, boom, and then and then deselect, and then we keep going, right? I said I don't, you get it. Boom. All right, cool. And then remember, do them all, and then export, save for web legacy. Nearest neighbor down here, 64 pixels by 64. If yours is bigger than that, just keep that in mind, and I'll show you why. So cancel. So then what you're going to do, you have your GIF, right? You're going to go to easygif.com, and you'll see there is a GIF to sprite generator. Holy moly. So I've already done this, but you'll see it'll be like select your GIF. Cool. I selected my baby. This is the one that had the alpha. And I can't show it to you live right now because baby Beckett yanked the cable for the internet. So I'm doing this without internet, but this just happened to be already loaded. Verizon's coming tomorrow to fix the internet. So that's how I'll upload this video. So what you do, you'll select your GIF, stack horizontally, probably do that. Then you set your tile size. So if it is 64 by 64, you want to make sure you do that. Otherwise, it'll like go to the pixels of your character, because they're alpha, essentially negative, nothing pixels, transparent pixels, but you want that 64 to 64 grid or whatever your grid is to be acknowledged so that when your character is animated, each animation frame in that GIF lines up correctly, if you know what I'm saying. So 64 by 64, and then you convert to a sprite sheet, and look, because we select stack horizontally, it extracts the 6 frames and puts them in a PNG document with a transparent background. So PNG, you don't want to make sure your convert type it'll be this by default, but you may want to make sure it's a PNG. Then this is essentially my sprite sheet generated for me. Then I save it. It will save with a kind of funky file name. If you look down here, easygif.com GIF. So that might be one of the first things you want to do is change the name of this. So let me do that really quickly. Come on, show and finder. Let's go there. So there it is. I'll change it to Avery, baby. Then let's bounce over to Unity. Ding. So this was my game that I built. I'll zoom in on it once the preview starts. Where I have my baby. I have Aiden's clouds floating around in the background. And then I have this controller script that I'll share with you all. It's really simple. There's no jump. It's just back and forth on the horizontal axis. But then I added portals. Bing! Right? Watch this. Bing! Pretty cool. And then I use the Flappy Bird 10-minute tutorial to generate these clouds that spawn forever. I think I haven't tried out forever. But that's it, right? So the way you get that sprite in there, I have assets, and I created folders of my assets. So I have a sprite folder, and then control click or right click, you can import a new asset. And let's navigate to the Avery baby. Remember, this is my sprite sheet that I just generated. I'll import it. There it is. And a couple things we need to do. So first, let's do this. Set the filter mode to point. So that'll make sure it won't get blurry if you really want to preserve your pixel art look. You can change the pixel unit to a bunch of different things, kind of depending on if you want it to be, 1 unit in Blender is 64 pixels, like you designed it. That's in Photoshop. That's totally cool. And then we want to make this not a single sprite, but a multiple sprite. And then we go into our sprite editor. Let's apply. That'll apply the point filter and the 64 pixels per unit. And then we can slice right there. Let's do by cell size, because we know what the cell sizes are, because we set that up in the GIF maker, or in the sprite sheet generator. It is 64 by 64. Slice. Then you have to hit apply, and then it does it, which is really lovely. And then you can come in here, and because I had a nice name, Avery Baby _, it added Avery Baby _0 through to 5 for all 6 of my things. And then I think that's it. Let me see if I click out it. Yeah. So then it's done. So then when you look at Avery Baby, I have my separated sprites. That's great. Now let's say I want to get them really quickly into my game. I select all 6 of them, throw them up in there. New animation, Avery Baby, right? I'm going to erase this later, but name your animation. You can see it's right here. So these are the 6 frames of my animation, but I can't see my baby. Where is it? Well, I needed to change this layer. So right now 0 is my background layer. I need to get it above 0, so I'm going to do 1. There they are. I'm going to change the scale. Let's make it real big. 10. Big baby. And then I can hit here for the preview, and there's my baby crawling. And then you can do the scripting after that. So you could, when you create the animation, it creates a sprite render, it creates the animator, and then here's where you could add a component, do a new script, right? And then just add your controller. Cool? That's all I'm going to do right now for today. And, oh, wait, sorry. I'm going to go one more thing. So I'm going to hit stop here. I'm going to hit stop there. Okay. One last thing. So let's say you have the other sprite that you all generated, which is just the image sprite of a cloud. This one, you want, again, on a transparent background. So same deal. Make sure anti-alias, we have your magic wand tool, W. The shortcut, make sure anti-alias is turned off. Point sample is dope. 10 is probably pretty good. You can play with that. Select, delete, deselect. Just save as. Save it as a PNG. And cloud, Aiden. Thanks, Aiden, for the cloud. I'll put it in weak floor so I know where it is. Save, medium seems good. Come back over here to Unity. And then I will, in this area, this is my sprites folder. I will import a new asset. Go to week 4, where I put it. Boom, bing, blop. And then I can just drag that jam into it. Is it in there? Yeah. Is it in there? Yeah, there it is. And then you're ready to go. And when you click on it, you can do the same thing. So if you want to set it to 64 pixels per unit, cool. And you want to make sure it's on a layer that's visible. Where did it go? How do we get to our layer? Is it here? Yes, and you want to set it to point. No. Wait. Apply. Cloud. Yes, okay, sorry. Sprite renderer. So this is in your hierarchy. You want to click it on your hierarchy. And then change it to, say, 1. Maybe 2. Is that visible now? Cloud, Aiden. Is it real small? Let's make it 10 by 10. Oh, yeah, wait. Okay. You all saw that. Okay. But you get what I'm saying? And so it could just be a static object in your background. Or you can add some movement to it. It could go around in circles. It could rotate. That would be done with scripting. And there are tutorials on that. Remember, I'm a novice at this, but I can definitely show you some things and help you answer some questions. But that's all I wanted to show you for today. This will be on the internet soon. I hope you guys are excited about this. It's pretty dope. Let's say if I want to delete this, I'm going to control click on that. Delete, right click, right? Cool. You'll figure it out. Watch the tutorials. Email me with questions. Good luck. But you have the skills now based off of what we built up earlier in this pandemic edition to make a sprite sheet, and to just generate sprites, like a single sprite, a sprite image. Okay, I gotta go. Bye.